I got a hot take.
We hot take off the rip. I love it. Come on.
StreamYard never stood a chance that stupid ass song.
Oh man, I agree. I agree. That was a bad like countdown song right there, chat.
That had a nice
Like,
little catchy beat. This is like damn like a bedtime lullaby.
yeah, bro. I felt like I was about to do office work right there.
It's
Like
too
we're getting
peaceful
ready
for my
for a
liking. It's
meeting.
too calm. It's too tame.
Cinderella, what's up, girl? Hot gummy, I see you out there. How you feeling? How you feeling? How you feeling? Much love to you. Top of the morning. Top of the morning. What's the word? It's 4 a.m. over here where I'm at. Can I get a time check for y'all fellas? Like, what
It's
time
one
is it
a.m.
over
for
there?
me.
1 a.m.
407.
Oh, it's
I'm the
four
only one in a
o'clock in
different
the
time zone.
morning.
You know that.
Yes,
Don't be playing
sir.
me like that.
Welcome, chat. Unwelcome your thoughts. Season 3, episode 1. We've been hot at work with off the hip sidebar quest. We do a lot on this channel. It's a variety channel. We gaming. We talking about good old wrestling, and that's what we're gonna continue to do today on today's
And
episode.
privately an abundance of ideas of what's to come. Also, we got merch as well.
Oh yeah, man, I need to get the QR code up on this screen right here too,
There's a
right?
few
Like,
QR codes you need to put on that I've been telling you about for the last year and a half.
oh yeah, oh yeah, we need the song, the merch, a whole bunch of them. But like today's episode is gonna be a little different. You know what I'm saying? We usually talk about the recaps, what's going on in wrestling. Today, I want to talk about a topic that been, in my opinion, been kind of simmering for about the last year in some part of the community, right?
Well, been
And
longer than a year. I promise you that.
the title of this episode is Wrestling with Identity, right? So we're gonna be talking about the diversity and inclusivity in wrestling, address the stereotypes, underrepresentation in the industry, and again back to the inclusivity in terms of titles, championships, events. Do everything needs a counterpart. And yeah, man. We got Baron in the building. We got my brother Razor in the building. And off the press, I'm gonna lead the way, man. I see a lot of talk about there's not enough black superstars getting the spotlight, getting the championship. My brother Streets is on his way. You know, I'd like to hear his opinion, but right now though, what like do y'all feel like that's an accurate statement? Like we got the likes of Bianca Belair, Jada Parker getting
Street
looks,
Profits are the tag team champions right now.
Street Profits, Trick Williams, Carmelo Hayes has been featured. You know what I'm saying? Maybe not in the way that people envision
Go to
alike,
this
but
the other side. The hottest act in the company is the Her Syndicate.
I'm glad you
Swerve,
mentioned that.
Swerve is respectively up there,
Yeah, but I
and
think the
lover or
conversation
hater,
for
you
that,
have Mercedes as well. Six
I
belts
think the
Monet.
yeah, the conversation I think for that, I and from what I seen was more on the WWE side and the usage of like whatever you want to call it, minorities, black superstars, Latin superstars, just having a top priority spot in the company. And I just wanted to take a tackle at this because I feel like there's parts of it that might be looked into a little bit deeper than what it should be. Then there's other parts that have interesting cases. Like I do feel like Bobby Lashley to me was one of my favorite superstars, and I'm not sure why he wasn't given a more prominent story. I understand he was trying to get the Street Profits over the like, get them to going. But in that moment in time, it felt like they had nothing for Bobby Lashley, former heavyweight champion, WWE champion.
It's not his fault. He was a product of bad timing. Because think about it, when as fresh off of his respective MMA run, you already had Brock Lesnar. At the time when the Hurt Syndicate's taking off, it's no one expected the Bloodline to be what it became.
Mm.
Sometimes it's just wrong place at the wrong time. MVP is another one. Was one of the hottest indie guys when he came in. He had an unfortunate illness that had to sideline for a little bit, and then he kind of ultimately came back, and then it was a different world again once he came back. Shelton Benjamin, another one. Everyone thought he was going to be a big star, but stuff went south with that. We can go on and on with a few other guys as well, but again, sometimes people are just a product of bad timing.
I could
Whereas
see
on the
that.
other side, probably one of the more notable ones, Booker T, Mark Henry.
I thought they was used phenomenally,
I
especially with
it,
Henry.
it really depends because I know a lot of them back then. Vince had a lot of control over the gimmick, but even if you weren't given the best gimmick, if you couldn't take what you had and somehow get a connection with everybody, if you didn't make it, that was ultimately on you. Because a lot of times they'll work with you, like and see. There's countless times that people explain, "Hey, I think I need to change this." They change it and things work out great. But like if you whether you become a superstar or not, that's solely dependent on you and what you're able to put out there and make people respond to it.
Mm.
New Day was left for dead 10 years ago. Let's remember, keep that in mind. And
And
look what they
they did
became.
with it.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
they still making it work to this day.
Look what Mark Henry had been. You brought him up. He'd been kind of that B tier for so long. He gets in there. He already had a world. I think he had already had one world heavyweight title reign, and then he has one amazing promo segment with John Cena, and he bam main event just because he instantly got that buy-in from fans in one night. He put it all out there, and it was one of the best segments of all time.
And he was a product of one of the worst in Mae Young's hand.
That was one of the best false finishes, so to speak, like a false retirement. You think it's over?
And to dude, it has to show you the faith that people had in him. In the
Yes.
back, he dropped the. That's I mean that's the height of Super Cena era right there. Like that's like he if he hadn't had that shoulder or elbow injury, he would have kept that title a lot longer. That was like he was the guy, and you got to do that segment on him. You got to take him out like that. That was a
And
big show of faith from like specifically Vince, like that
and right
he
now
had faith in Mark to do that.
and right now we have a possible chance of seeing lightning strike twice in Wrong Killings or Truth.
If you had put anyone else in this role, people we love our truth for being funny and the comedic side, but now like he's taking something out and we're all on board for it because of what he's given us in the past. He has that buy-in from
And
people.
it's different.
Yep.
But
I got
also
nothing. I got nothing negative to say. 'Cause I know I went off on that episode, but I did get what I asked for. I said a more serious truth, which we're getting killings. I'm cool with that.
and also for the historians like myself, this is what he was doing in original TNA. So you
Oh,
guys are in for a treat.
Now, so let me ask you guys: do you feel like this whole chatter of diversity is a bit off? Because when I look at the champions, when I'm looking across the board, men's and women's, top to bottom, I've seen champions from all kinds of races and countries in the past what 3 years. Like, on my off on that. Like, we've seen Io Sky, we've seen Rhea Rip, we've seen Damian Priest, we've seen Drew McIntyre for about 5 seconds, but we know
Cody
why.
Rhodes,
Cody Rhodes, the cute, throw the
the
Cuban in there.
Raheem Rhodes.
That was hilarious.
It was. It was.
That was hilarious. And pardon me if I'm forget anybody, but like we mentioned the Street Profits, you got the New Day with the other set of championships on Raw.
Look at Roman.
Roman, the
Half.
Usos.
I forget the exact
He's
blend there,
Samoan
but
and Italian.
an Italian. Okay, Italian. That's crazy. You had to hold it for longer than anyone in modern history. Like they put a minority in the top spot for 5 years. So like,
Also, I want to spread this to again more of an international thing. In the last couple years, New Japan has crowned the world's first ever Italian-born champion. The first ever Maori-born champion in Hanare. Also, Ace, you're gonna love this one. The first ever champion from the country of Kazakhstan in Bolton Oleg.
Oh
thank
yeah,
God,
the
it's about
Oleg.
time. It's about
Oleg,
time.
man, that name
Aaron,
I remember. I
if you
told you,
haven't seen
yeah,
this yet, this man he's an animal.
yeah. I seen you sent me that too. Oh man, Bolton, man, that name I told you of Rip.
Imagine if Brock Lesnar was maybe, let's see, what would be a fair depiction? If he was about MVP size and had the same power and athleticism
Ugh,
I'm glad
very
you even
deadly.
mentioned that because, like, even just circling back, Gunther's been a champion. He's a champion now.
from Austria.
So there's
And,
been
Shayna
Oh, she
Baszler technically
Turkish.
is Chinese, or she's part Chinese, I think.
Jade
Look at
and
Selena Vega,
Bianca,
U.S. champion right now.
Zelina, Naomi, Money in the Bank briefcase winner.
So I don't. I think it feels like specifically more WWE side because I feel like that's where it's mostly comes to is it's not so much that oh Vince or in this case Triple H held you back because you are so and so or whatever. I think it's more of it's they're
What's up,
using that
Queen?
as a way to discredit them not succeeding. Like that makes them feel better if they can attribute, oh, I didn't get pushed because that guy was racist, rather than I didn't get pushed because it really wasn't that good and the fans didn't connect to me. I mean, look at Jay Uso right now. He was, they listened so much to the crowd. They gave him a world title reign, and he's the number one merch seller. And so, like, it's clearly not who you are; it's like what you can do. I really believe that this is one of the only instances of a profession where it's really like you can get where you want to go if you do put in that work and connect with the audience.
Issue. What I've been saying for the last 6, 7 months.
Oh, on which end? You got. We've been saying a lot, brother. Talk to
They
me.
Triple H has been paying attention to who's actually putting in the extra hours,
Oh yeah, you've been saying that for sure, for
and
sure.
now you have Nick Khan endorsing that because he's looking at what they've done since they've taken over, and much like with Truth, yes, he was known for all this and that. Yes, he was a Vince guy in theory, but he's still loyal. Like very similar to what Undertaker was when shit was going bad. He was one of the, if not the only guy that didn't cross over. One of the only guys that didn't cross over to WCW.
I'm gonna give you
So
a different angle on this, right? I think if fans feel like they're not getting the storylines they want from, like, the talent that they wanted from, I think put some more flavor in that writing room. Like, I don't know the faces that are in the writing room, but if you want something more relatable to this audience, you will want the writers that have a pulse on that audience. I'm gonna just use an example, right? Anybody can make a show based on hip hop, whatever. But when 50 Cent touched power, he know how to make it feel real. He knew how to make his shows feel relatable to his audience. So I think that if there's any disconnect, it could be that I think WWE don't really know how to build black superstars, and they kind of like might know what to do with some another type of character arc, right? And we've seen it with Damian Priest. It looked like even Damian Priest hasn't had any change in his character. Like they don't know what to do with him. It's just like go figure it out. He still got his purple wings from Judgment Day,
same song.
same song, and they might know what to do with others, especially others that might come from a wrestling background. It's easier to like, oh, this is the family member of Rick Steiner. This is Rick Steiner's nephew. We're gonna have him basically be like the Steiner. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little easier to nurture. We've seen it with Charlotte Flair for a long time. They let her run with her father's gimmick. Natalia, she has the heart stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So you touched on
So
the producers. What
mhm.
if there's too many cooks in the kitchen?
That's why you need to have the right people with the right finger on the pulse for that story, right? Because I agree with you. If there's so many people throwing stuff, who do we really listen to? How does this from a week to week make sense if it's constantly different?
Everybody got assholes and opinions.
At the end of the day, Triple H needs to be the one that decides. Like, if you pitch him a bunch of stories and then he says these are the paths I want to go down, and then flushes it from there. If he's getting resistance and stuff on things, then I mean, he needs to nip that in the bud. And
Or
that's another a question to consider too. Does that have anything to do with The Rock? Like, is that why there's such possible contention? Is The Rock trying to like, well, I'm on the board, well, I'm head of creative, and now they're just butting heads. Like that's stuff we may not ever know about.
there's also the option of maybe he's in that phase to where he doesn't want to piss anybody off, so everybody gets a turn to
Mm.
sit on Santa's lap.
It could be.
I mean, Razor, how you feel about the whole inclusion? with AAA, what they trying to do with Mexico, do you feel like they're looking to monopolize the situation? Do
Well,
they like?
I've always looked at these partnerships a little bit differently because it's I look at it. Yes, they're the big machine. They've already made it. Now they're just trying to get everyone else close to their level. But people are assuming that it's going to be a feeder system. Well, again, think about it. WWE is the All Star game. Don't you want to make the All Star game, All Star teams?
Mm,
AEW can act like their belt means something, but at the end of the day, if you're any kind of pro wrestler, like the goal is the WWE title, like just bar
AEW's
none.
problem is
yo,
he's
forever.
putting
We
more
appreciate you
emphasis
here, man.
on CMLL's belts, New Japan's belts, and any belt Mercedes has.
And now that's what, up to six.
Yeah, she's got she's got everything but Tony Storm's belt and the New Japan Women's belt and Athena's Ring of Honor belt. She's got everything else, literally, as far as main, I guess, tier one indie stuff.
That's I don't. I think she was the lesser of the four in terms of talent. She definitely's got a personality, but not just in. I think
Yeah, again, I agree with that, but for whatever reason, she's developed this fan base to where they think she's God's gift to the industry.
and this goes to a thing we talked about before, but is she really a draw? Like she's still not helping them sell out tickets. It's not like if you had
At
you
least
go
sell us your hometown. You're not even doing that.
exactly
Mm,
you go 2 weeks before a show and be like, hey, guess what? John Cena's going to be here. There ain't going to be a ticket left. You go, hey,
You
Mercedes
say
Moné's going to
you
be
say
here.
Roman Reigns is pulling up. They're sold out that day,
They're like, oh, there's ticket left. No, there's not. Like
or that
immediately.
ticket just went up tenfold.
Yep.
that's the
Add a
best thing
couple of zeros
Magic
to that
Johnson.
price now.
That's the best thing Magic Johnson has said on television. A superstar is when you're on the road, the fans say, "No, I want to see that superstar,
Yeah,
babyface or heel."
yeah, yes, yes. Knicks are home at Madison Square Garden. Guess what? We here to see Jordan.
Hmm. That's a
We here to
superstar.
see Magic. We here to see Larry Bird.
Yep.
And I agree with both of you. The finish line should or the goal should be WrestleMania. Whether it's main eventing, competing for a championship, that's where you want to be. That's the Super Bowl.
Now,
That's the Stanley
now there's
World
no problem.
Series.
There's no problem being a number two. It's just again, just make your stars worthwhile. Present them as stars like they should be.
Yeah.
Yet,
Absolutely.
I think we can agree that just about all of them, except for MVP, Lashley, and Benjamin, hasn't been pissed away yet. Osprey's hanging on by a thread. A small handful of others are hanging on by a thread on life support.
Mm.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, we signed them. They're all elite. And then what do you do with them? You know, it's a waste. And then that results in somebody not getting TV time,
The
which makes me
own
more
yeah,
gripe about it. And then they'll find any reason to make that more of a thing.
I feel like the Hurt Syndicate though had a genuine like the crowd fucked with them. And some other instances, like I feel like the Edge stuff was met with 50-50. People are like, oh, he just went over there. He should just hang it up. And some people appreciate he had a loud pop when he showed up the first night at AEW. I'm not
Oh,
going to deny that.
I'll play devil's advocate with the Hurt Syndicate stuff. Yeah, that happened. Know who else had that love too? FTR. Look at him now.
See, but I always told you this. I always told you I was never sold on FTR. Like I never understood why Bobby Lashley. I've seen him fight Bob Sapp, bro. He's a badass. So when I
But
look
but
at
but
Bob Sapp, Brock Lesnar, even CM Punk, he had the fucking balls to lace him up and go in there. Dolph Ziggler, champion at Kent State. These guys done got busy.
But that's not what we're talking about here. It's not.
Right,
It's
right.
we're not talking about
they
like
they
they're.
left
I
with so
saw
much
them whoop
buzz.
ass in
They left with
something.
so much star power. Yes, they had impressive programs with certain teams in WWE, more mainly NXT, and then they start hot, and then you literally piss on them when they're in the ring.
Hmm.
They should have had a Stingray record of being undefeated or whatever, being the most dominant team. 7-star FTR is what they were called, and they've done fuck all with them
I
to
mean,
the
the
point to
FTR
where
had a
you had
weird
to tease
like,
to break them up for no
yeah.
reason, just to kick Edge in the nuts.
But this is where the Hurt Syndicate was opposite. They actually want them to come back. People want Cedric to now join them, and people are asking, when are you gonna get the fourth member back? When are you gonna? They give us MJF with them
But
now.
but again, FTR had that love once upon a time too, and then
Hmm.
slowly they went downhill. By the grace of God, the Hurt Syndicate has been able to stay afloat still. Thankfully, MVP has allowed them to be impervious to Tony's bullshit.
Yeah, FTR was like the people's tag team. You know what I'm saying? Everybody wanted to
They ain't
enjoy
saying
them,
we
love
hurt
them.
people for shits and giggles. There's love.
Oh. Streets, let's catch you up, my brother. We were just talking about like everything, diversity in wrestling, how black superstars are being used, how the Latin superstars are being used. And there was a lot of conversation for about a year that Triple H wasn't booking black superstars correctly. MVP has something to say about it. And I just wanted to get your thoughts. Like, I felt like those assessments weren't totally accurate. Like, while some people might not see their
No,
favorite
okay.
black superstars on top, some of them are featured on television, do have championships, and there's been a global diversity. We've seen champions from all parts of the
Yeah, for
globe.
sure.
So yeah, I
I
just wanted to
think
get
that
your thoughts on that, bro.
I think Triple H was cleaning up a lot of mess that sorry how I sound, I'm still getting over this, but I
No
think
worries.
Triple H was cleaning up a lot of mess that Vince had, you know what I mean? And he was trying to kind of, when you got to come in and undo the last person's mess and kind of fix that, not their mess, but kind of like their format and change the format of things, you got to kind of do a lot of cleaning up and then get to it. And I think people in this day and age are used to everything being instantaneous. We live in a world where everything comes really quick. So if it's not an overnight type of thing, people start to get kind of like, hey man, whatever. But like you said, you haven't seen a lot like just in the past couple months, you've seen a lot of champions, just under Triple H that he's been trying to push. That hey, let's give these guys a chance. Let's go ahead and see what they can do. So I'm with it. I think that giving it more time, that it will grow into something that'll be pretty dope. You know what I mean? But again, you gotta give it a little bit of time, let it work. Vince had this thing for a long time, and he had the opportunity to mold a lot of things, and he molded it in his way and his vision. So,
So,
now
so
that there's a
one
new
thing, just
vision,
to well, to
yeah,
piggyback off what you said, because you wasn't here when I said it. I suggested. So, what about having some flavor in the writing room? Some people that got a finger on the pulse of what's going on in the
facts,
urban culture to bring a more
facts,
authentic product to the people. Instead of
facts.
when people feel like, oh, they stereotyping him, they just giving him a rap gimmick and making him like
Yeah.
give it a more authentic feel for the people from the urban culture.
Well, let's look at the landscape now.
Was Crime
Who
Time not authentic?
I felt like it was, and I don't know, like I don't really find people like me personally. People, I live in East Harlem. For the chat, for the people in the chat, and there wasn't people around me that was offended by that. People was laughing. It's crime time,
I
Brooklyn,
I mean,
Brooklyn.
yeah.
Like
To
it was
me, they
funny.
were just character. I have no clearly.
Some people
I was
might
not
have
their
had
target
issue with it.
audience.
Yeah. Some people I
Yeah.
can see how they can maybe look at it. Some people take everything to heart though. They
Mhm.
take
And
everything
then,
too
like you
serious.
were saying, though, Vince McMahon in that era, he had characters. I always felt
Facts.
like he was putting out like a whatever, a TV
nothing
show,
was
a
off the table.
movie.
Like I
Yeah.
said, you could tell where it kind of switched. At one point when we grew up, we had like the Mankind, the Undertakers, the Rock. You know
We
what I
also
mean?
had the
Triple
gobbledygookers.
H.
We had the Hornswoggles, the
Yes.
That's
Eugenes.
we
Wait a
had
minute. That was
clowns out
that
there.
was.
We
Wait a
had
minute.
Doink the Clown out there.
I
Like we had
felt
a
like,
clown out there.
yeah, Doink the Clown, you know what
The
I mean?
clown.
But I feel like, when it got to be that, we also had, what was your boy's name? The Hurricane. They had superheroes
We
and all
had
kind
her.
of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
He
Superhero in
was a
So,
training.
superhero. You watch your
Yeah.
yeah.
mouth.
That's why I said we had superheroes. That's why I said we had superheroes and everything.
Chill,
Disrespectful.
bro.
And now we
Baron
want
took me out, bro.
I was agreeing with him. He came from my head. Like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
brother. I was
Yeah,
agreeing.
hey, will be no
said it
hurricane
aggressively.
disrespect around here.
I
Not
just
while I'm
said,
around.
hey,
He also called us tokens too.
yo. Yeah, yeah.
No, I said
No, what the
I was
Rock
a
say?
Kevin White
You
guy.
ain't no damn superhero. That nigga had me rolling.
Hey, Rock sold it
He
though when
tried
he
to
took
choke.
off and
Yeah,
flew out of the room.
yeah, bro.
Rock
On
did
God.
sell it, so props to the Rock for that.
They match
Right.
was fire too. Hurricane tried to
Yeah.
choke slam him. He like,
Oh, remember that
brother
one
was look,
spot in the Rumble?
bro.
Tripping.
Oh
Right.
man, he tried to give double choke. Yeah,
Yeah, he was
classic, bro. That's
tripping.
what I'm
It
saying.
did not
Classic.
work out
But
too well.
yes, it did.
But fast
But
forward now,
again,
he's one of
it
the
was
cooks in the
a
kitchen.
it's an entertainment thing. It's Vince was good at capturing that. Like I said, and having characters. Nowadays, it's more everything's real. Everything has to be your real name. You know what I mean? Dominic Mysterio, Rhea Ripley. You know what
And
I'm
that's the
saying? You got
they could
Cody
have.
Rhodes.
First name,
Look,
last
look. Wait a minute. Think about it. Think about it. No more R Truth. Who is it?
name.
Ron
Ron Killing.
Killings.
Explain LA Knight then.
Yes. But I told you I don't even like that dude. Yeah. I told you I don't like that nigga. I don't really rock. Look,
Now
I
you're
just
talking
feel
about
like
LA
this is.
Knight.
No, listen to me. This is why I say that. No disrespect to LA Knight. I know he's watching. Look, bro. It ain't that. I just grew up in an era where I really was with original stuff, bro. You know what I mean? And now that they kind of redoing stuff, it's kind of like, I've seen that already. Come with something better. That's just me. Like, so I really feel like he's just a mix between Stone Cold and The Rock. They had a baby, and it was LA Knight.
I
I
mean,
feel
That's
that's
like
how I
people for
technically
feel.
yeah,
true.
That's how I feel.
yeah.
He's a good and that's no shade to him because maybe he grew up and those were his two favorite people. He's like, well, shit, ain't nobody feeling that void of The Rock and Stone Cold. I could do
They
that.
not. Hmm.
So, like, after somebody came in and was like, hey,
But
look, I
what
want to
is
be like,
LA Knight though? What is
I
LA
think he's
Knight?
older than us though.
Like
Is the
really?
weird thing.
exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. He's just, I don't know, bro. He just like, he just, I don't know,
Like
bro. I don't get the gimmick, the L.A. Night, like
it's the
the
name for me,
L.A.
bro.
Night. Yeah, yeah. I don't get the night
It's because
part
I
of
used to
him.
watch
Yeah,
him
I'm
when he
from
was Eli
Cali.
Drake.
You
I'm
should have
from
kept him as Eli
Cali.
Drake.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Thank
saying,
you.
Razor. I used to catch that on TNA, so I used to see some of that stuff when he was Eli
Yeah.
Drake, and to
It
me,
just
it sounded more organic. Eli Drake versus the LA Knight. The LA Knight
yeah,
kind of
the
throw me off,
L.A. Night.
especially
Yeah,
after
yeah.
Max Dupree. It was like, oh man, like they doing a lot with him. They went LA Knight, Max Dupree, LA Knight. Like I don't know, they kind
Hmm.
of made his run weird for me. But I
I'm
agree
mad
with
you.
you. It's a lot
It's
of
funny. You got
first
an
name,
L.A. hat
last
on.
name.
You got an L.A. hat on.
Fact. You feel me?
man. I remember as a kid, I was
Straight.
convinced that Nails had escaped prison and the Big Boss Man was there to take him back. I thought
Hey,
that
Mhm.
was
nigga,
what
look.
happened.
Hey, you feel me?
The big boss man.
The big
Hijacking
boss
Both
Big Show's
man.
dad's funeral.
Look, mankind. They had Cactus Jack. Dude
bro.
love.
I
I'm
don't know what
done, bro. Look,
bro.
this three right there. They had characters that like stood the test of time. There ain't no
Kane,
more characters.
What's a Midian?
Kane, what's a
Viscera.
medium? Boy, I was about to say
Viscera.
Viscera.
Bro.
What you
King
know about
Mabel.
Let's go further.
Virgil?
Let's go further back.
Tab
Ricky the
Virgil.
Dragon, Roddy Piper, the
Roddy
Macho Man,
Piper.
Jake the
Mr.
Snake,
Perfect.
Kurt
Million
Hennig,
Dollar
Mr.
Man.
Perfect.
Oh,
Ted.
man.
Look, back then they had stuff. If they was their names was like real, but it was like I don't know, like some movie act like Ted
Yes,
You put some flavor
DiBiase.
bro.
on it.
Like you know what I mean? Yeah, you had to put some
They shaped
flair.
our childhoods, man. Like I'm not trying to disrespect no wrestlers from today, but like
Come on,
you know what
dog.
I'm saying, like how like those are names, bro. We talk
Sting.
about 30 years later.
Sting.
Who talking about Danny Basham,
Goldberg.
dog? Like who from the Danny Basham era when Doug and Danny Basham was out there? Like, yeah, the Basham brothers.
The
Like
This
Basham
guy.
Razor, like
brothers.
me.
This guy.
The
I ain't gonna lie, that's some
cabinet.
old
That's the
school.
cabinet right
Yeah,
there.
When I
that's
hear
some
the
old school.
Basham brothers, I think of the two big guys on the Mighty Ducks team in those movies. So they
The
just go
Bash
around.
Brothers.
That's
Oh,
That's what I
bro,
think of.
like,
funny. That's funny, bro.
but
But yeah,
man, it's
they just don't got no good characters now. And I think that's what it's missing, bro. Go ahead and give us some more, like
Shit, we
That's
even
the thing
tolerated
because they're
Heidenreich.
not.
like
You made Paul
like
Burchill a fucking
yeah, cause,
pirate.
cause all they names is like now like a nickname. Like even Jacob Fatu, the Samoan werewolf. You could just have him be the Samoan werewolf. You didn't have to be Jacob Fatu. It worked, and I love Jacob Fatu. But I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Like they could go a little more with the imagination.
I
Vince
think you
had
know
an
what you know which one
imagination.
fucks it up for me. It's the Braun Breaker.
Yeah,
Why you couldn't call him Steiner?
yeah. I don't get that either. I don't get
He
the why he
wanted to
couldn't
be
use the
different,
Steiner name.
But did he
and
want to
now
Time
be
his
out.
cousin will
different?
be showing up with
If
the Steiner
think
name.
about
Or was
this,
he
if
told he
you
needs to be
you
different?
think like I'm about to say, because if you want to be different, bro, you shouldn't be in wrestling.
I don't think he wanted. I think they told him to be different. That was that weird
Yes.
Vince era when
Maybe
Vince had
so. Yeah.
imprints on that colorful NXT 2.0 stuff.
Hmm.
When Vince deaded Triple H, like, nah, you're not winning that war against AEW. Let me get that.
When he had
And,
like
and
who?
again,
When he had
we
your boy
but also
Ryback.
on that notion,
Oh man, that was
No.
the
another. Oh
2.0
man, he got
days,
private. He's like, no,
during the 2.0 days, we had
I
a
love
character
Baron, bro.
in the
No.
growing that ended up getting booted. HD's goat, Mr. Odyssey Jones.
Oh yeah, man. Odyssey, man. Was he like wrongfully like? I feel like I'm
Apparently,
looking at
charges were dropped.
I'm looking at certain brothers. Velveteen Dream. We're not looking
Another
to be
character,
controversial here. We just looking at who's been booked, who hasn't.
Yeah.
OJ, you know what I'm saying? Odyssey Jones, Enzo Amore. Maybe he's a
Enzo
Yeah.
is
Well,
very
I
well working
mean,
right now.
eventually some of what you do outside of the ring is going to
yeah. I was
affect
about
how
to say.
often you show up in the ring.
There you go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I
There you
mean,
go.
Riddle was he refused to pass test. He refused to stay clean enough to pass tests. I mean,
Mm.
you there's even a really good interview with Dana White where he talks about the problems he had with Riddle in the UFC
Yeah,
locker room. About he was just like that guy's like he's the worst. He can't like he wants to do all these things, but it's not important enough to stay clean for 30 fucking days. Like it's
and make
ridiculous,
even
and
more
it
money than what he's getting right now.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Some
you
people,
get
hey,
those bigger.
addiction.
Like Riddle was he
Addiction's a
main
real shit.
evented with Seth
Real shit.
Rollins, the Roman Reigns, and he pissed it away because couldn't control the things they said he had to control for a certain amount of time.
You were paired with Randy Orton, another man. Again, when he first started, he was no saint his own self, but he grew up.
Who? Randy?
Yeah,
Oh
Randy
yeah,
was a
Randy. Young
menace.
Randy was
Yeah,
a
yeah, yeah,
He
yeah,
was
yeah.
woo.
he was an animal.
Yeah,
He
yeah, for
didn't
sure.
talk about
Randy
zero
Keith
fucks
Ooh,
given.
Orton.
child.
Hell
He
yeah.
made me patient zero forget the YNs.
Man, that
Facts.
shit just made
and
me
this,
feel
this
like
and
a
this is
parent again. I was like,
and this is
ooh,
before
child.
2008 when he was a killer.
Yeah.
This is before
Yeah.
that.
Facts.
Oof.
Facts.
I could only imagine what Bob Orton was.
You're right. I need to probably go through some stuff.
Cowboy.
He always had a cast on his arm,
Cowboy
hitting
Bob
everybody.
Orton
Terrible.
going through it.
I
That's
mean,
Man,
funny.
so like we spoke about the diversity, we spoke about the different races. Let's talk about like the inclusivity. Do y'all feel like it's the right move to if there's a call for whatever it is, the women's championship, just because we want to see a women's intercontinental championship, a women's United States championship, women's tag team championships. There's a lot of times that people call for these things, and then when it's there, you hear different opinions. Oh, get that title away. Which I feel about the inclusivity for the women, just giving them, a Royal Rumble match,
I feel like
the
it's
extra
they should have.
titles.
I feel like they should have been did it. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I feel like we all know women hold stuff down. We all know behind the scenes,
Oh yeah.
women holding it down for the men. You know what I'm saying? When you can't think, the women be like, hey, you should probably go ahead and do this. Like I bet money, Vince ain't gonna never say it, but I bet money Linda probably put that nigga on hella game about doing
Mm.
stuff. Probably like, hey Vince, you probably need to go ahead and look.
She's
You
still
probably need to go
cleaning
ahead.
up his. She's still cleaning up messes to this day.
You feel me? And look, when
Shout
all
out
this
to
stuff came
Linda,
out,
man.
she wasn't going. She's still with her dude. She probably like, okay, I know you probably fucking around. She probably already knew that.
I
But at the
knew it.
same time, you know, I feel like they
Her
kind of
name
held
ain't
them.
McMahon by accident still.
You feel me? And he knew who he picked. He knew who
Her
he
name
had
ain't
by his side
McMahon
for
by
life.
accident still.
So my thing is this, I feel like the women have did they time, and it's time to give them they shine.
Oh, of
Let them
course.
have it.
Well,
And it's like you got to strike when the iron's hot too. You got to realize this. A lot of us got daughters. A lot of these wrestlers got daughters now, and they feel like, Daddy, I want to be like that. I want to maybe be in the WWE. Are you gonna always look at them as like a diva? Or like you said, are you gonna have like a real superstar? Like, hey, you know what? You doing it on a
well,
female level. So go ahead. We're gonna give you your shine and let you have the same thing that men have. You know what I mean?
but
If there's
but
a
part of
high
that too
demand for
goes
it too as well. I think that
the
Okay.
same thing I felt like we see in the race thing is the same thing with the women's thing. How many of them like made that a character that the audience connected to? Like you had this big gap where you used to have it back with like Mae Young and Fabulous Moolah and all of them back in the day when that was big, but then that kind of faded out for a little while, and it wasn't until like Lita and Trish that we
Mm.
kind of got that back where not just like a woman like, oh, it's cool to see a woman wrestle, but like you
Well,
had men who were like, I mean, the first time women's have ever main evented Monday Night Raw was Trish and Lita.
you know,
So like, I mean, you had people that the men, like people that
Well,
going back to the other thing, like they sold tickets, they were draws.
yeah, for
So like,
sure.
you just, I think a lot of it until they actually had women who
Well,
could
also,
do it. It would have sucked if it had been forced, but it was, there just wasn't women that were draws.
yeah. Sorry, I'm
well,
gonna
it's,
cut you off. I'm like, go ahead.
mhm.
No,
Yeah,
I was gonna say, also though, I think the landscape has changed. Back when I was going to like pay-per-views when I was young and house shows and stuff like that, there was girls in the crowd pulling up their shirt. Women, hey, no offense, don't cancel us. This really happened. There was girls in the crowd showing their puppies, pulling up, showing, look, juggling
DX,
titties. DX time.
DX,
They showing, they they
Like
they
Dom
throw.
said, the '90s were wild.
Yeah, you feel me? So, but when I go to shows now, you don't never see that. I couldn't like right now. I couldn't imagine being there and they'd be like, "Hey, show your titties," or like, "Hey,"
and
and
that's the
you
thing
see
too. Like, I
girls.
wouldn't want that. Like, as a dad, I wouldn't want
That's
that.
what
Like,
I'm saying. Like,
that.
we're parents now, so it's different. The landscape's kind of different, and you kind of look at it like, do I want my daughter or somebody who I look at like a niece or a sister to just be sexualized and just be, oh, you're
Yeah,
just thought of as like a
mhm.
draw, or it's like, hey, you know what? I'm giving you the tools in life to say you could be whatever you want besides a WWE superstar because those women are only good for draw. You know what I'm saying? So seeing it like that is cool, but again, I also agree with you saying that they need to connect with the characters, with the crowd, and see, who's really going. Like Io Sky does it really good too. I think, saying they giving her a chance. Hey, you know what? Let the Japanese people get a little shine too. Let her get in here. She's doing this, doing the middle of the
Mhm.
a commercial breaks. They're like, hey, let me see you do your best Io Sky impression. They doing this. They panning around the cameras. It's
That's
going
fire.
through.
She got
Yeah,
her
so
own camera. Yeah,
she got her own camera now,
but
so
that's because she is
it's
good and people
connecting.
want to
Yes,
see her. She is a
so
draw for
that's
that
what I mean.
company.
Yeah, I think that
yeah.
you can do that without having to be sexual. Like she's not sexual, but she can still be like a really graceful woman and still portray a
Yeah,
sexy woman in her way without having to be just nasty or just depicted like that. And then you could have your women who come out like Tiffy Time, like of course Jade Cargill. You know what I'm saying? When they coming out and they're almost taking control of their womanly presence and status by saying, "Look, I'm showing the cheeks a little
Look
bit.
at
I'm
Rhea.
showing a little bit. Look at Rhea. I'm showing. I'm coming sexual with it. I'm on top, like mommy's on top. I'm gonna get in that head to make you think,
That
oh, is
pinfall
she
she
on
does.
top? You feel me? The way she, same thing Jade does when she pull that leg back and she get the licking. You thinking, oh man, look at, ooh, nigga, you think? Look, y'all
Oh,
all,
he been
we
waiting
we
all
all
week to do
knew.
that one.
I
We
was
know. Look, we all been.
screaming.
Boy, you heard
Mm,
me?
mm.
You hear? Look, nigga being like.
You had to like my plant.
You hear me? So,
Mm.
but that's what I'm saying. You feel me?
Ah,
So I felt like they take control of it and they kind of use it in their advantage instead of it like it can take control of them. Like, here, you got to go out here and do this. You know what I mean? And kind of go out there like because you could tell some of the women probably didn't feel comfortable with doing it. Like Jackie, when she used to come out, Sable. You can just, like, Trish Stratus. You could tell some of them probably wasn't as comfortable. Lita was comfortable because she was showing her thong. You know what I'm saying? Pulled up. Back then, it was like, oh, man, you can see her thong pulled up. Like, you
Don't
know what I
forget
mean?
Stacey keeping them legs.
I'm gonna be honest
Keebler
with
and
you. I
them
think those
legs.
females back then though did what they had to do to get that bag and
Yes.
TV time. I think it
Yep.
was a little different from them. Like and like
Facts.
they more similar to like the females now, where like you said they're gonna own it. Like Sable, she had to take off the robe. She's like, yeah, I'm here
Yes.
and I'm
Yep.
posing for Playboy. Say
Yeah.
what? What
So
happened?
was
Facts.
Dawn Marie.
Yes.
So was Candice
Yep.
LeShow.
Tori
Hmm.
Wilson. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Even
Like
Marie to a degree
Yeah.
so, like yeah, they had to stand
with the
and
wardrobe
they shit
malfunctions.
for yeah, like they had to be uncomfortable to be comfortable, if
Yeah.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know
And I
what I'm
feel
saying? They
like
had to
that
learn
what
to
they
be uncomfortable to get
because
comfortable.
they were the first, like in that era, to be kind of doing what they're doing and re-breaking it down. Like Chris was saying, May Young and them. After that, it kind of died down. So now that you're bringing it back, I felt like they was, like in the
I'm gonna
Attitude
keep it
Era,
a bean too. I
it
don't mean
was
to cut you,
something new.
bro.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
Imagine though, for like everybody perspective, like yo, bro, I ain't gonna lie, my wrestling gear, I'm not wearing the Randy Orton's, bro. Bro, if I got wrestling gear, you sign me up. I'm not wearing the Steve Austin's, the Rock.
Nah,
I'm not
I can't
wearing the
wear the
You
trunks,
you
Titans.
you
I
you,
bro.
you
I've
ain't you ain't
always look.
rocking the shooter boots.
I'm gonna say
Bro,
this.
nah,
I've
give me the
always said
Cody's,
this.
bro. Give me
Right, I've
the
always
like,
said,
give
give
me
me
a
the
Rey
give me the Shawn
Mysterio fit.
Michaels, Give me the Shawn Michaels, the Rey Mysterios,
Country, I
nigga.
appreciate you.
He
Yes.
said,
Yeah,
nah,
Give me,
bro.
it,
give me the
you like the bloodline
Hulkamaniacs.
have come up with the J's?
Yeah, I can't do the
Yeah,
Razor
bro.
Ramones. I can't do the
Yeah, give me the Kevin Nash. Matter of fact, the Kevin
yeah,
Nash, the
yeah.
Diesel film. We good with
Right.
that.
Give me the
Yeah.
Diesel
Do
fit.
Pride
You
Time
feel me?
Day, bust out the Tims, get the butters out.
Man, I'm telling you, like, cause I don't know, bro. Like, it
Hold on, my
gotta
daughter just
be.
got up. Give me 1 second,
Yes,
John.
You
Right
good,
sir.
quick.
brother?
Imagine you out there, like, the pressure that gotta be for any performer, male or female, to go out there, have your body in shape, tip top shape, every time you out there and perform. Man, y'all gotta give it to them, folks. Even when the product is you know what I'm saying, at a down in terms of storylines, in terms of excitement, they got a immense pressure on top of them to go out there. Like, I remember they was on Sheamus when he came back, burger after burger. I'm like, damn, bro. I'm like, bro. I was like, yo,
And he would have
people
whooped
are.
any single one of their asses. Anybody
I was.
talking shit like that.
I ain't gonna lie. I was like, in my head, I'm like, damn, he came back a little heavy, right? I'm just thinking, like, he didn't get the workout. They maybe rushed him. But then I was like, people going in on Buddy. You heard? Like, people, folks online,
Okay, he had a couple too many pints that night. He was
bro.
a little bloated.
But it must have gave him the fuel he needed, cause then he went right back into shape. Like, sometimes that should have fueled certain people. You know what I'm saying? You trying to give them the negative, they gonna turn it into a positive. That's the wonderful about that mindset. You know what I'm saying? But for some other folks, they probably do the opposite. Like, I mean, we've seen Bianca tell stories how she had the body dysmorphia where she's like not happy with how her body's looking. She's always feeling like she needs to get into better shape, and Bianca looks like wonderful. Like,
Hmm.
and Montez almost suffers from the same thing, where he feels like he needs to get more shredded, more ripped. And then you look at that guy and you like, brother, like,
He's also bodybuilding on the side too.
telling you, man.
But I want to take a little different avenue with this.
Okay.
Um, I got no problem with the call for more for the added titles, the tag titles, whatever. Because again, the more stuff they do, the more stuff we get to watch, and more stuff we get more content for us. My thing is, and AEW has the same problem as well. Both of them, I feel, don't have the right people to play to get that going. Because, like we touched on, it's a very male dominated thing. Aside from the women that or have been since retired, have we ever heard of any woman producing the women's match in WWE?
I don't know. I don't think
Aside
so.
from
Exactly.
Molly, aside from Molly
It's
I
Holly
either
doing
think
the
Mickey
Rumble,
James, I know, has in other companies, and
but as far as
I think Gail
WWE,
Kim
it's
has.
usually either like a Jason Jordan, a Hurricane, Heyman, whatever. It's usually one of them. A Freebird Hayes. So maybe there's again wrong eyes watching the wrong product. What works for this person may not work for someone over here because ultimately it's a different style. Respectfully,
Yeah.
it's ironic that at NXT this past Tuesday there was someone backstage. Another person, much like Tristan Lita, was a pioneer for this current generation, Gail Kim. So HD, I may have foreshadowed another one here, but if you can get her on board to be in a producer role, yes, you still have Nikki Bella, Tristan Lita popping from time to time, almost as like the litmus test. Have Gail kind of like set them up for success, without you have almost like an entire like finishing school of professors in like Gail Kim, Trish Stratus, Lita, to get you ready to be up there with a Rhea Ripley. So you don't have to grind as hard as Liv Morgan did. You're already set up to be there. And AEW
Yeah.
had that with a Madison Rain till you let her go, I think.
it's interesting that WWE is relying. Maybe it's because there's evolution event coming up, but just seeming like they're relying on some of their older players, so to speak, and not older in age. I mean, just like what works for them in the past, that's what they're going to now.
The safety
Cause
net.
yeah, the safety net. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm seeing a lot of that. Like, I text you this the other night. I said it's 2025 and we seeing Sheamus, Rusev, and Jay Uso in the main event of Raw. Now maybe that shit don't hit for some others, but like just when
It
we
puts
in
a
the
lot of things
era,
into perspective,
yes.
and that's why I've made the joke on this show a few times. Folks are gonna say that they don't need Roman Reigns right now.
I would disagree
Folks
with
are
that.
gonna again. There's a reason why The Rock basically shows up when he wants to. How bad do you want it?
I'ma stand on this. The same way CM Punk made wrestling cool in what 2011, Roman Reigns did the same thing for wrestling in 2020 during the pandemic.
Yeah.
And again,
It was a
Drew's up
fuck
there
time.
too.
Yeah, Drew had hopeful things for him. I feel like that whole him winning at WrestleMania kind of squandered his shit a little bit.
It did slow things down, but he's gotten to that point that I feel they hope LA Knight got to, in which through all the bullshit, you're still going to be looked at as one of those dudes. Now the crowd's not giving up on him. They're trying to double down to see if they can get almost like a Jey Uso effect with him, but there's something that's not quite there. And you and I discussed this in the past. Like it's like there's one piece of the puzzle that's missing, and we can't find it.
Mm, that is true. It's something missing there, man. But to put a knot on what we was talking about with the titles, I just wanted to say I don't think it's too many titles. I had a bit of an issue with how they were introduced. I feel like they were introduced rapidly, back to back, the whole
Set the
tournament leading
division
up.
first.
Thank you. There was an Intercontinental Championship before the European Championship, if I'm not mistaken. We had a lineage of what was going on with the IC belt before we made the European and then bringing the United States belt to counter the IC.
It took Eric Bischoff to see that he'd acquired a few guys that are smaller than the superstars, so he made a division for them, the cruiserweight division.
Mm. Something I also advocated that they should bring back and not under no 205 live bullshit.
Just call it what it is, the cruiserweight, or do what New Japan does, call it the light heavyweight division.
Yeah. Like I think the idea, I get it. Like when you wanted to bring back the hardcore championship and you named it 24/7, you wanted to do different things, but just it's we know hardcore, we know cruiserweight.
Or you can repurpose the belt you have now, make the speed title only for the cruiserweights, put a weight limit on the belt.
Don't try and take away Grande Americano's
I'm,
first singles
I
title.
He just got to drop 1 pound. He'll be fine. He's gonna shit out 2 tacos. He'll be okay.
Second greatest luchador of all time.
This is valid. How many title defenses he got now?
Hmm.
Oh, I have no idea. I don't watch Speed.
And why was that not seen at the fucking PLE?
I don't understand the separation, honestly, why the Speed champion doesn't
You put it on
really
NXT with
come
Sol
out.
Ruka. That's
Yeah,
been on
like
TV.
it's weird that they really try to make it feel like a whole separate entity.
You
Like
ain't slick. And, and
No
today you
idea.
had, or yesterday you had LWO pull up on Evolve. Like,
Yep.
what are we doing?
I've
So
seen word that the women's Evolve champion is highly touted to be recruited to NXT on a full time basis.
So is the Evolve title gonna be kind of like how what you call like AW does the Owen Hart Cup, where it's just a trophy?
I'm not sure, but reports that I've seen online, she's been showing up to NXT live events with the championship representing Evolve. So maybe she drops that championship at some point and moves up to NXT.
Which is
But
possible.
it seems like
It,
we might see one of the first jumps.
I mean, she is impressive from what I've seen, or there's promise.
I haven't seen much. I've seen a few clips, but I just seen the reports. She looks like a young like Bianca in terms of appearance. It seems like you know what I'm saying. She keeps working. She's gonna be at that mixture of Jade and Bianca, like a real powerhouse.
And
So
all we can do is hope that she stays healthy, or as healthy as physically possible.
and not have a random freak accident in the middle of the ring like poor Liv.
shifting away from the race talk and the inclusivity with the women's championships, let's throw something a little different out there. I'm feeling like us as a community, have we not found our guy yet? What I mean, like back in the day, for most of the people, it was Austin. It'd be the DX or Endo. I feel like the crowd, the fans sometimes want to see somebody else be the guy for the people. Or is
I
that
think we found
like
out with Jay.
that's what I was thinking? Like I feel like it's Jay, but then they want Camry and Cross to start getting some looks. Like
It's not so much that there's a guy; it's just that the way WWE has panned it out is every year is a flavor of the month. Last year we had Cody. This year it's looking like it's Jay. The year before Cody was Drew.
I mean, I think you spot on with that because like when I'm looking at prior years of under Vince, not under Triple H, under Vince, I feel like Vince had a person for every situation.
It was a
Meaning,
defined
Yeah.
like tier.
yeah, he had a person in Stone Cold that would go against the authority. Later on, he had Seth Rollins going against the actual authority. You know what I'm saying? He had alliances in place that made sense with
We
his
started that with Cody and
corporation.
The Rock, and that went to sleep
Man.
too
It's
soon.
hard for me to take the final boss even as a serious thing anymore. Like, feel like the next time he shows up, he might just be Dwayne.
Or what's his character's name in Moana? He's gonna be Maui.
I'm surprised he hasn't taken like as much chances to promote that under WWE programming.
Well, he sang the chorus once.
He did, but like, man, for me, it's just it's those few elements that are missing for me that'll take this to another level. I feel like we need a guy, and for me, it looked at times like okay, for the heels, it was Roman Reigns. Like if you were a fan of a heel, Roman Reigns is your guy. Now we get Solo because I'm enjoying what Solo's doing. I don't care what anybody tells me. I think Solo's really picking it up and doing better work right now. Jacob Fatu is seeming to embrace the role of the ultimate baby face. Like I really think he got a different flavor, and it's cool because you see how Jay he got the more favorable for the kids. Jay got the Jacob is like he's for the adults. So it's cool to see that dynamic. I don't know, Razor. You want to see Jacob as a heel?
There's one name I'm shocked you didn't even bother to mention.
Or who's that?
Dirty
Dom?
Dom.
Nah, I mean I think that's a
The
given.
greatest luchador of all time.
Yeah, nah, he's a given. You know what I'm saying? He's definitely a given. But I'm talking about even right now,
He's
the
another one
crowd
that's gonna be there easily another 20+ years.
the crowd kind of like flip flopped on him when he got that win at WrestleMania. They cheered for him, giving him that moment. Now when he was looking for the boos on Raw, it was like you know what I'm saying? They weren't as loud as that deafening tone before.
Because he's
Yeah.
too good at what he does. And we have Triple H saying, "Well, it's all part of the show."
And I feel like it's okay. The
Correct me if
fans
I'm
can cheer.
wrong, but it was Vince was around when Dom was getting arrested for breaking into his own house, right?
Was he?
When
I
his
can't
mom
remember.
slapped the shit out of him
He might have been. Yeah.
I can't remember when that was.
because he had just started with Rhea
That's when he just started. When they went over to the house.
a couple times. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Vince might have been still around because Edge was still there.
I mean, and honestly, I'm waiting to see what, because it's a waiting game too. I'm waiting to see. Street said it earlier. We got to wait and see about what WWE is going to curate, what they're going to put out there. Because honestly, for me, a lot of what I'm seeing was already in play before Triple H kind of really took over. He kind of just, this is like an alley oop. All you got to do is finish the play now.
Yeah.
And the question is, how much time are we willing to give him?
Well, I mean, look at Austin Theory. So clearly not necessarily too long. because he was primed and ready to go up until the transition, and now hopefully that comes back when he turns baby soon. But who knows?
How we feeling about the whole Goldberg thing? Like that's another part of this inclusivity. Like I don't want to give up too much about what happened on Monday, but I say inclusivity because everybody's getting their moment in 2025. It seems like okay, he's well respected, well tenured. Let's give him his moment.
And he said, "I just
Yep.
want one and done, just to call it quits."
Give him his moment. When the iron's hot, strike. Fuck it. Let them have their shit. Or if it fits, if the moment fits, if you can set it up to get like these little what if matches, get it. Because later on down the line, people like to look at that and say, oh, what if this happened versus this? And I think that's cool too. You know what I mean?
And I think that's fine. But I think a lot of people are, or my theory is, at least for me, in my case, is I'm a little annoyed that this isn't in a big four show. It's just a Saturday's main event because they just want to book it because they want to promote or counter program.
My question is, why couldn't because Gunther wasn't heavyweight champion, right? Jay was. Why couldn't they let Jay continue to be champion up
First.
until yeah, like they could have got this same match done.
Is the belt on the line for this one?
Yes.
Oh
As
Lord,
from what I seen on the flyer that I sent y'all that day, it said World Heavyweight Championship, not champion. It said championship as if like the
oh
championship
boy.
was on the line.
Yep.
No, it definitely is, and it's like I said, it's a free world heavyweight title match against somebody who once went 172-0. Like a lot of people are gonna, if you have the choice between a $50 pay per view that probably will suck, or a free event on regular TV with somebody or maybe that was a big part of your childhood.
Yeah.
But
That's
also, again, this is the second biggest show of the year, and this is the first time it's going 2 nights. Wouldn't you want to at least try to start hyping up that show because
hey, what
this program feels very rushed.
the Saturday night main event or
Why not at SummerSlam? I know he wanted to do it in his hometown, but MetLife ain't that far from Atlanta on the plane.
This is the issue with having a few PLEs booked right after one another. You got King Night of Champions June 28th. Then
yeah,
we have
yeah, are like just happened.
Yeah,
right. I feel like I haven't even digested Money in the Bank.
no, and that just
Yeah,
happened.
for sure.
Like I haven't even had a chance to go really like watch it back, enjoy it, like not enjoy it or whatever the case may be. And now I'm getting ready for the next Night of Champions next week or whatever the case may be.
Oh, trippy.
Because Triple H is probably in a pissing contest with Tony Khan saying, "Yeah, you spent that much money on all that stuff. I'm dropping billions and getting billions on top of that.
And
I'm
then
spending their money, not my money."
and then if you care anything about NXT, some point in July, I believe they having the American Bash.
Great American Bash,
Yeah,
and that's supposed to go on a kind of all the shows are kind of program now. I get pretty much.
Great
Evolution
American
2
Bash,
with
huh?
the women's. So it's it's a lot of things that's in my opinion, I feel like they're put out there in a way that the fans yeah, they want it. And then kind of when they put it out there, it's kind of like tongue in cheek, like, yeah, y'all wanted this, but we ain't gonna really put the effort into what you wanted. And
Because you're still gonna pay for it.
Yeah. We can
that's
give
tough.
you
Some folks are still
half-ass
spending
sometimes,
six,
and
eight
you
hundred
still
dollars
gonna
for the
pay
damn
for it.
belts.
Yep.
Sorry,
Well, I
Street.
found. Hey,
We gonna get you one of them eventually.
yeah, bro. I heard that the ones they selling up there is real metal. You know what I'm saying? They a little heavier. The ones that's like 600, 700. So
But I don't know how they escalated from like at one point they had like these belts that were like 500, 600, and that was that. Now they escalated to these $1,000 belts that are like authentic, true to the ones that they wear on television. And I'm like,
So
bro,
were the ones that were $500.
that but
It
what's
was like half a pound off.
that's what I'm saying. Like what's
And
the
not even that, like
chicanery?
I don't know if y'all noticed, the belts they're not even clips, they're Velcro now.
Crazy.
What?
Well, some of them. I don't think
What you
the
talking about? What you
WWE
mean?
title's not.
Cody's belt's Velcro. Jay's belt's
Cody,
Velcro.
Cody's bet that he wears to the ring right
Yeah, it's
now
Yeah,
is
Velcro.
Velcro.
yeah.
S-
Wait, oh,
But
the
I
weight
don't
belt?
believe you.
No,
no,
the
the
title.
championship belts.
They're all
I don't believe it.
That's
the
what I
gim's
think they
Velcro
all
now.
I
are,
don't believe it.
except the undisputed title. I think Roman
Trust me,
didn't want
the,
those. They never swapped it.
the
Are you
one
telling me
the
these
Romans was the
grown
first one that
men,
got the
these
Velcro.
grown men is out here with Velcro?
Yeah,
Yes,
because it's faster to put on television. That was the reasoning
they ain't
behind the
fucking with the
split.
buttons. Wasting too
There'd
much
be a lot
TV
of time
time.
the referee like here for a minute trying to put it on them, or the wrestler themselves trying to like
Dana
button it
Wino
up
got this issue
themselves.
with his belts. Get his plug.
I guess it's easy. I guess with the Velcro you can just put the whole the
I don't know.
turn
My
the
belt, I got the button, so
yeah,
I
that's what I'm
guess I got a
saying.
classic. Yeah,
Yeah,
But I mean the Velcro I guess wouldn't be
Well,
that
I
hard
have the
either.
undisputed title, and it doesn't have like
Yeah,
it's got the actual.
the
buttons on it, right?
buttons.
Because you got to hang it on the wall. They give us wall hangers for that. They sell it on the shop.
Well, they don't give you. Yeah, you
Well,
definitely
yeah,
got to
you got to
buy it.
sell it on the shop. Yeah.
But
So
these are actual
ooh,
like snap.
got
hmm
the Velcro. But can you imagine paying $1,000 for a belt and you got Velcro on
Nah,
it?
nah, I'm not
Yeah,
paying 1,000. I gotta
you gotta
be
get you,
up. I gotta be
gotta give
up.
me at least half
I'm
that
not
back.
up.
yeah.
Yeah, chat. We not up. I ain't buying no $1,000
Up,
belt.
up,
They
up,
got it. Yeah, they
up, up,
got it.
up. They gotta be up, up, up.
But streets, I was telling them, I think it was a way. I feel like the community really don't have a guy. Like we used to have Stone Cold used to be that guy for us.
Yeah.
Running down on everything, stunning. Fuck the fuck Vince. Fuck this cat. Fuck this dude. I'm not friends with him. He get a stunner too.
Then
Dude,
you had
like
Rock. Then you had Cena. Before that, you had Hogan. We had Roman. Yes, you can have say Punk as well, and then Cena back now. Drew's getting up there. Randy, obviously.
I feel like there's two people here
okay.
that they're trying to build around that. I'll say Braun Breaker. I feel like he has the
Mm.
potential to be that guy. Could be. You know what I'm saying? He's on the rise. And
So
I'll
he says
say
what he's gonna say.
who else you think I'm gonna
Go
say,
fire,
bro?
fire away, fire away.
Who else you know who I'm gonna say, bro?
Tell the
Jacob
world.
Fatu, bro. Like he's doing his thing, bro.
There's an echo in here. Damn it!
Bro.
The walls
I'm
is
telling
talking.
you, when I went to the show, I've been to a few shows, right? You'll see people talking about the main people, but like he's not one of the main people yet. He's like right there. You know what I mean? And when I tell you there was random people just who you here to see, bro? Jacob Fatu. I'm like, that's who I'm here to see. I'm talking. I had to talk to like 8 or 9 people. They was like, "Who you here?" Jacob Fatu. Jacob Fatu. He's popular, bro. He just has something. Certain people just have something special about them, bro, and you just cannot deny it, bro.
You can call it Ori. You
Bro,
can call it the It Factor.
they just got it, bro. And it's like, even if you don't want
Absolutely.
to, it's like you catch yourself. Like my mom used to get on me so much because I was walking down the house like Stone Cold up my neck. Everywhere I walked, I had
Not
to.
the D'Lo
I had
Brown, the Stone
the
Cold.
D-Lo Brown. You're looking at the real deal now. Yeah, my little brother was D'Lo Derek. Every game we had, his name was D'Lo
D-Lo
Derek.
Derry.
That was my little. We was a wrestling family, bro. I was like, because he was light skinned like D'Lo Brown. I'm like, nah, you D'Lo Derek. So we was going there. I used to walk around like Stone Cold, humming the music. I used to think I was Chris Benoit. We walking like Chris Benoit because we got the fucking same birthday. Yeah, bro. Impressions was everything, and I think like right now, Jacob Fatu got it, bro. With the whole sayings, the dude is a walking promo, bro. From just his ring presence, bro. The way he walk out, he don't even got to say much. He just look, you know what I'm saying, give you that crazy, twerking and get the, you know what I'm saying, going crazy, moving his head around. You know some shit's about to pop out. So I feel like out of all the superstars they have right now, he is the one who just had the it factor. I like Braun Breaker too. I feel something about him too. I feel
Mm.
like he got something to prove. I like that whole like I don't want to be in my parents' shadow and my uncle's shadow and my family like they them, but I'm them like defined. I'm them way better than you know what I'm saying? Like, so I like it. I like his character. I like what he's doing, you know what I mean? I
Cause
feel like Seth
the
and my bad. And if I had to say
yeah.
one more person, outside those are newer guys. If I had to say one more, obviously Roman Reigns right there. I'd give it to Seth Rollins.
I'm glad you brought him up because that's where I was gonna go with this. That WrestleMania triple threat. I feel like Seth, and we spoken about this, Razor, when we was doing the show. Seth was like the almost the odd man out in that shit. When like he's cutting promos, the fans are chanting OTC, CM Punk. Like they ain't give a fuck what Seth Rollins was talking about.
Hmm.
And that's the dynamic of that guy. Like Austin never really had to deal with that. Like when he spoke, folks listened. When The
Yeah,
Rock spoke, folks listened.
yeah, for sure.
So I mean, I don't know. Is it? I don't know if it's on the town. If is it on the fans of this generation that kind of like they want something new
Like
constantly.
Street
They
says, sometimes some folks just got it.
some folks just got it. I think
It's not.
LA Knight is well on the mic. He just got a shit gimmick. Like he don't has
Yeah,
like
facts,
he don't
facts,
have a gimmick. Like
facts,
what is your
I mean,
gimmick?
he's over though for
fact.
real. I mean,
Yeah,
he's
he
not
is
quite
old.
like
Yeah,
Jay's level, but he's super over.
Yeah, I
yeah.
don't understand why. That's
I
my.
don't.
I don't
I
Cause
understand
don't get it
why.
either.
he's nice
It
on the
blows my
mic.
mind.
I
He's a
give him
beast
that.
on the mic.
I give him that all day for
And
sure,
that's hard
all
that a lot
day.
of people can't do. Like we
Streets,
seen
have you heard that? Have you
Charlotte
heard that roar in
struggling.
person yet?
What's up?
Have you heard his pop in person yet? It is
We heard
loud.
it
It is
Yeah,
deafening.
We heard it
we just heard
Friday.
it. Yeah, we just heard it Friday.
Yeah,
It
it
was
is
straight. It was
deafening.
straight. It was loud. It was straight. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, you have to
Didn't break
realize.
punks, but it was
Yeah, I
good.
must say, yeah, you have to
Oh
realize it was
no,
like for the
again,
people that
I
had
made
come
from
out there.
California. It was deafening.
Well, you got to think about it like this too. Like it was a lot happening, and then he came out and it was like, oh
I
yeah,
think his
you're here
promo was
too.
good too.
Like hey, yeah, okay, cool. You know what I mean? Because it came out
It's
of
like
kind
you
of
got all these
nowhere.
NBA champions and you put
Yes,
a dude that ain't even hit the finals yet
yes,
in the
yes.
room.
So
Like
that's what we was
they
all
over here
looking like.
talking
Okay, he's a
championships.
seventh,
They
eighth man.
That's what I'm saying. So we're like, oh shit, we're over here looking, and he comes to L.A.
hey,
night. You look like what? Like all right, cool, yeah, L.A. night. Like all right. How do you fit this equation? I don't know, but all right, hell yeah, let's go. You know, so it was like that, but no shade to him. Like no, honestly, no shade to him. It was just like you said, if you see in LeBron James, Michael Jordan, Kyrie Irving, and you got just some random player from the Bulls pulled up, like no offense to the Bulls or any team,
fucking Lonzo Ball
Timberwolves,
pulled up to the
Lonzo
conversation.
Ball,
Yeah,
like yeah, like Lonzo pulls
This
up,
shit
like
is
what
Rip
up, y'all?
Hamilton.
Like yeah, like hold on, brother, we
yo,
love
Lonzo,
you.
I fuck with you though,
What's I said?
Zo.
We fuck with you,
Oh
Zo.
man,
I'm just saying. Now you know, bro. Now you know, bro. Come on. That's what I'm saying. Like niggas ain't stupid, bro. They had these conversations. Like you still talking about LeBron James and
what
Michael Jordan. You feel me? Like, come on, bro. They walk in the room. Niggas ain't about to be
oh
like,
man.
hold on, Mike. Hold on, Mike.
He walked in
Lon
talking to Cena like, yeah,
Lonzo's
I
here
wasn't
too.
part of your plan. Like, Cena,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about, bro?
Like,
Like,
see, like,
get
hold on,
out of
bro.
here.
Right.
Cena
That's
just walked
hilarious.
out the ring too. Like, I ain't listening to these guys. Like, man, get out of here.
Screaming, bro.
It's crazy, bro. I mean, I think I'm willing to give WWE a chance though because I always gave it a chance. I watched through the terrible computer GM era, the laptop era, Michael Cole.
The anonymous
That's
GM.
crazy. Yeah, that
Yeah, the
shit was
I
anonymous
goofy.
That shit was
GM
received an
goofy.
email.
email.
Yeah,
Like,
that shit was
bro, that shit used
goofy.
to have me on my toes. Yo, I used to have the TV mad loud on 99. I hear that shit. I'm like, nah, dog. Like, not some bullshit about to happen. Like, yeah, some
Right.
It
bullshit.
was just
Yeah,
Hornswoggle the whole
Swaggle.
time.
That one under the ring had me too. When man, little Hornsey,
Speaking of
yeah,
Hornswoggle, who was the son of Vince McMahon?
Oh
Hornsey.
yeah, that was yeah, that
Hornswoggle.
was cool. Can you imagine, bro? Crazy, bro. You got her shooting midgets, bro.
That's what I'm saying. I lived through that era. I just hope that if you're gonna have a dude like Omos on the roster, the biggest dude on the roster, can we see him, bro?
No.
There wasn't a week that Vince ain't
Yeah.
have Big Show out there, even as a presence, bro. Like,
Yeah,
you know what
for
I'm saying?
sure.
Like Paul White before he came in, like he had a massive
He even brought
debut.
back Teddy Ellis for a cup of coffee a few times.
Like,
Man,
bro,
niggas
and
ain't
I'm gonna
tripping.
be honest. I want to make this a rant, but just to get this off my chest.
Now we can rant.
We can rant. Fuck it. Let's get it done. These managers, bro. I need managers to be spicy. I need like,
They
give
ain't
me
nothing left.
something,
Don't want to
bro,
do that.
bro. Give me something. Give me like something memorable. I'm gonna be honest.
We
Like,
have Paul Heyman and Scarlett. Is there anybody
no,
else?
what I mean by manager, I mean the actual general manager. Pardon me for misspeaking. I need general managers of SmackDown
Nick
and
Aldis is
Raw.
getting there.
Yeah, like bro, Teddy Long was him. Eric Bischoff, Ric Flair,
Yeah, for
even
sure, for
Heyman.
sure.
Stephanie Heyman, all the managers, Vicky, even Vicky, bro. Excuse me.
Yeah,
Like you
everybody
be
used to
like,
hate her. Yeah,
oh,
for
bro, like
sure.
here she go, like, but she was very good at her job. Her job was to blow yours, like you
Yeah,
ain't
for
supposed to
sure.
like that. You feel me?
Hayden
So
You're
wasn't
right.
she,
You're
half bad
right. Like a
either.
buck. Yeah, facts.
yeah, bro, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know. They too safe with the managers right
They
now. I'll
too
just
say,
give
yeah,
everybody
yeah,
what they
yeah,
want. Like, you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Like I'm not
Facts.
completely with Bully on his take, but I heard him say something about, oh, how does like Goldberg just walk on the Raw when Nick Aldis is the substitute GM of Raw? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on, y'all. Back in the day, y'all used to make it make sense. Like,
Yeah,
you
for
so
sure.
if that was gonna happen, Nick Aldis did some
Yeah,
slime shit.
yeah.
Like, you
If
know
that
what?
happens,
Yeah.
I'm Adam Pierce. I'm going on Twitter saying that it's not happening. Not on. I didn't sign off on that. No, that's all. We ain't doing that.
Yeah, like something like, all right, y'all can have a match, but it ain't for the championship. Like, no,
And
Type
that's
shit.
how you
Like,
something.
set the table
yeah,
for it.
Yeah, like something.
yeah. They
You know what I
doing
mean?
type.
And then now the two managers got conflict. Like he said, Adam Pearce ain't fucking with that move. So the next time Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis meet, there's friction there.
I don't know if
Yeah.
you guys have noticed.
Come on, y'all. We
Everybody
get yo
walks
chat.
over Adam Pierce. Everybody walks all over him,
Yeah.
and he just takes it.
Oh, I need a
Yeah.
drink tonight. Oh, I need a drink. And I'm all for having drinks. But gosh, I wish I
What
could
you
drink on the
nuts?
job like that.
Let me
I
say,
need a drink. I need
Used
a
to,
need a
drink.
drink.
Adam Pierce used to be a cold motherfucker back in the Indies. Where that guy at?
NWA World Champion.
Yeah, man. All right, so let's go around the room. I said what I felt like I want to see in wrestling. Razor, let's start with you then. Streets and Baron, we go around counter, and let's see what y'all want to see more from in wrestling. Razor, take it.
See, I'm torn between a couple things we already touched on, and that's the cruiserweight division as well as the very daunting task of the women's tag team division. Both of them have, at least with the cruiserweight, they had to start and stop a couple times here and there, but that could work because it was promising back then. It's probably even better now. The women's tag division, you kind of have that tailor made with NXT because of the partnerships with AAA, TNA, and everybody else. Have it down there. Let that thing blossom elsewhere. Make it more of an international title as opposed to just something solely for WWE. You'd be surprised that might take off, and that would create more buzz around it because you're creating importance around it.
Mm, that international flavor right there. That might be something. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. That definitely might be something right there. Streets. What would you like to see more of in wrestling, man?
Okay. Hot take. This could be taken however, but I would like to see more innovation in the matches. I grew up in the time when they came out with Hell in a Cell. They came out with the Buried Alive matches,
Mm,
the Inferno match when the roast was on fire. They just was pushing the limits, with trying to do things. And I feel like I would like to see them maybe try some new stuff. We had Elimination Chamber, when we was coming up, and it's cool to keep doing the Elimination Chamber, but maybe put a little spin on it, maybe make it a little crazier. They always try to elevate it. I remember Chris was saying something about the Big Boss Man earlier. I mean, we even had the Big Boss Man in there with guard dogs going around the outside of the cage, just something trying to push the
mm.
envelope. So maybe just make maybe some more creative matches would be cool, and just to continue seeing people get pushed of a different diversity. Bro. I think that would be cool.
Okay, so we got innovation. Okay, we got some international titles from Razor, some innovation from Streets.
Yeah.
Baron, you wanna bring us home and tell us what you got, man? What you want to see more of in
I
wrestling?
think best thing is kind of hard for us to see. It would take a while. I'd like to see the creative team, not so much a hey, this is what your character is, more of a letting the superstar kind of flush it out, more like creative control, I guess, for a better lack of a better way to put it. Like them
Mm.
not just reading a script, not just doing that, more like free-handed promos, more their personal touches on the character rather than just whatever somebody puts on that script.
That'd be cold.
Them given the
Definitely.
freedom to do that would make, I think, the world of difference in whether somebody's getting over or not.
Mm. So I mean, I'm there with you. I like all y'all takes. Like that's being more personal for the character himself. Being one is important. Like in this day and age, to make it believable, we don't got the fortunate or the benefits of like when Undertaker used to keep his kayfabe. Social media is out. Folks is gonna see you in public. The talent is younger. They like to use social media. I can only imagine it's hard for them to stay off of social media. So, like Baron is saying, become one. Allow them to, cut some promos on social media if so be it. Let them embrace being done with the
Yeah,
character. Y'all got some good points right there. Chat, man. Y'all gotta hit that like, comment, man. Fuck with it. Y'all gotta go follow them too, man. These are smart takes right here. Y'all gotta tap in and join
Hey,
the
hey,
combo with us. If y'all disagree with anything we say, we for that shit too. We for the
facts
dynamic. We can agree to
I love me a
disagree.
good
all
debate.
day,
Hell yeah, man.
all day.
Hell yeah. And yeah, that's right there. We gonna wrap it and we gonna just chop it up. Me and the fellas in the studio, get some more few points for the next episode. But yeah, that right there is Unwelcome Your Thoughts, season 3, episode 1, Wrestling with Identity. If y'all was here for the live stream, we appreciate you. If you was here on YouTube for the recorded version, we appreciate you as well. Much love to the community, man. Anything y'all want to say before we get out of here? Y'all got the floor, man.
no,
Nah,
good.
that's it. We
Uh,
good. I hear some.
uh, happy Juneteenth.
There it is. There it is. Happy Juneteenth, man. We
The
live right now. June 19th, 2025. We're about to sign out 5 in the morning, chat. Much love.
So yes.
Go.